What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow decoders around the world, wherever you may be, my name is Logan, your tour guide, and this is Decode Your Reality. Today, we're going to be doing number 18 of this scripted reality series. Boy, man, this series has been so much fun. I got to tell you, it's one of my favorite series that I have, scripted reality, and now we're doing number 18, pumping these videos out. Big shout out to all of you on Patreon. Thank you so very much for your pledges and support each month. They continually help for me to pump this content out. And scripted reality, let's jump into this. We're going to be talking about some agriculture. That's what this scripted reality is about. Is agriculture and the game of life. Part of the game of life is agriculture. And if you go and do the numerology of agriculture, it's the same outcome as the word operating, as an operating system, which, as you know, the 56 is lights, camera, action. So the operating system of Earth, part of it is agriculture. Without it, we wouldn't have food. The animals wouldn't have food. The plants and the trees and the shrubs and the gardens, and this is all part of the agriculture, and it's big business. So I wanted to break it down, and I've had this one shelved for a long time. I was going through some old stuff, and it popped up, and I'm like, huh. So I started to look at it, and here we go. So because it's agriculture, I'm going to connect it to astrology and Ceres, which is one of the asteroids. Stephen, Stephen, the great moderator, he's big into the asteroids. So this will be a fun one for you. But the United States Department of Agriculture, where did it form? When did it get started? Well, you know, during the reign of Abraham Lincoln. 1862, May 15th. And I think this, let me say that, 160. I think it's going to be, hang on, folks, 20. Yeah, it's going to be 161, which is going to be hilarious. Hopefully I remember that, because the last couple slides show the 161, which is the golden ratio. And here I am showing this decode. But nonetheless, it's tied to cerium, this element, because cerium on the periodic table ties to Ceres. And Ceres is the Roman goddess of agriculture. Now, the gods, the goddesses, I mean, we can separate it a million different times. But where do we go with this? And let me show you, this is scripted reality. Let me show you how scripted the United States Department of Agriculture was, and they weren't in control of it. Like choosing I'm going to show you how ridiculous this stuff is. But anyway, first and foremost, I want to show that cerium has a big role in the source code because it has 58 protons, and the word puppet master equals 58. The word remote control equals 58. So this is a big number, this 5 and this 8. And if you separate the two, you know, you have the house of Scorpio and Leo, and you have Pluto and the sun. And Pluto's Prometheus, and the sun obviously has a contract with Prometheus, which is the earth, which is going to be tied to agriculture. So this sun here has a contract with earth, and this creates the ecosystem. So you can look at it just exactly what I just said. Through astrology, the ridiculousness, if we want to break it down, the 8th house is Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, which is Prometheus, which is the earth, and 5 is Leo, ruled by the sun. And just like that, you have all of them here. the sun having a contract with Earth. That's how crazy scripted this reality is. And Cerium being tied to the puppet master. Of course, because, without food, we're living in a simulation. The simulation is the movie. And part of that is agriculture. So let's get into the insane aspects of mathematics, part of the source code, tying it into the periodic table to get the bridges, the clues. So I'm going to measure, where's that 58 in the string of the golden ratio? Golden ratio means light, spirit into matter, and then pi would be matter. And I'm going to get into that, but it's here it is. It's located right here. And you got to add all the digits up. I can't even remember it. Let me just go because I want to know. Yeah, 23 digits. 23 digits. This is a total of 23 digits, including the 1 point. Okay, including the 1 point. So there you go. But the total is a 127, and that ties right back to tellurium. Tellurium comes from the Latin word tellus, which means earth. So just like that, we have a very easy and fun way to connect this, seeing that Earth is tied to the number 58, which is tied to agriculture. And on top of that, the 52, as we know, is tied to the prison. 52. You don't get out until you die. And then the ridiculousness, the 26, prison is Adam, and this is where the story of Adam and Eve comes from, the 26, which is tied to source. You see? So the prison is the source, planet is the source, and Adam and Eve have to till the soil and the farmland and how big the agriculture is. This is how amazing this source code is. Now we're going to look at the layers of pi, because pi represents the earth. So now it's matter, light, slowed down into physical matter. And I can't remember how many digits this is, but the total of where the 58 appears in the 3.144 string of pi gives you a total of 619. Now I want to go to mathematics and see where these numbers have their placements. And of course, both of them, as fate would have it, are prime numbers. This is a big deal, right? Abso-freaking-lutely. Because we're talking about agriculture, which is a huge component of Earth. A major component. One of the major components of Earth. So 619 and 127 are the prime numbers. And when you add up those, 114th prime, 31st prime, you're going to get promethium. Because 114 plus 31 is 145. How about that? So now we have the clear connecting point of what Earth and agriculture is, and what it's tied to is Prometheus. And you can branch off and go into, the engineers. Keep in mind the word engineer equals 31. So are the fallen angels Prometheus, and is Prometheus the engineers, and have they created this reality, and are they underground? Well, there's a lot that's going towards that research. And then it creates the agriculture. Prometheus does. And I did a decode on this. I mean, look at the picture that I chose for this. The dirt. I'm so tied to this because it's tied to Pluto, and Pluto is a big, you guys and gals watched my Prometheus and my Pluto decoded. I showed you Persephone Lowell has the same initials, and I have the tie-in and crazy script of Pluto, the underworld, to this code. So Prometheus is the agriculture, the earth, and the sun has a contract, Leo, with the earth, which is Pluto and Scorpio. Remember, Scorpio, the 8th house, if you watch the tarot alchemy, Scorpio is the entrance to get into this reality because it's the world card. The world card sits in the house of Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto and Mars, which is Hades in the underworld, and the underworld is the dirt beneath your feet, which is the agriculture. And the mathematics support this. Clearly, the mathematics without a shadow of a doubt, support this being the source code and the writing behind the final product being the agriculture. The grass, the trees, the vegetables, the fruit, the livestock, everything's, the ground has a contract with the white sun. Prometheus has a contract with the white sun. Leo and Scorpio, okay? So going into the formation date of the United States Department of Agriculture, May 15th, it's the Four of Diamonds card. And it's the 30th card in the deck. And just like that, now we have, of course, this is the big takeaway because that's exactly what mankind is being used for. Role-playing. Sim City. We create these games based upon our minds, and we're the so below, and the as above is creating us, and we're the Sim City. That's what this whole thing is all about right here. This is like Sim City right here. Earth is Sim City. That's why a lot of, simulation, the whole 9 yards. 30 is role play. The word demiurge equals 30. Jehovah equals 30. How far down do we want to go with this? What's running this reality is not man, I can tell you that. So let's get into the solar spreads. Let's get into the cards. These were one of the big takeaways for this. This system's ironclad once you know how to use it. And I'm hoping that many of you have caught on by just paying attention to the methodology of this code. It's really easy to do, but solar spread number 58, I'll leave the link in the description of the video so you can click on knowyourdestinycards.com and click on the solar spreads and you can go and start doing it yourself. But we're going to go to solar spread 58 because it's all about agriculture, and Cerium is the god Ceres, which is the goddess of agriculture. So 58, and then I'm going to locate space number 58. Now there are 52 cards. The 52nd card sits here, and then we have to start back over again. So 53 and so on. So the 58th space in solar spread 58 is the 7 of clubs, which is card number 20. And remember, the word duality equals 20. No shock there, right? The word duality, the word birthday, you have it all part of the agriculture. And then if I go to the spirit spread, which we always want to fact check against the spirit spread, this is unmovable. It's a ground zero. We look at the same exact space, and just like that, we now have the amazing connection to Prometheus, because Prometheus, coming from the Greek word, equals 48. The 9 of spades is the 48th card in the deck, and that 9 of spades in the spirit side sits in space number 58. Of course, what do you see? If you take the 9 and the 7, you get 97. 97 is the 25th prime number. The word father equals 25. The word black sun equals 25. What do you think that is? The 9 and the 7. This is how the subtle clues. So we go to mathematics and we just type in 9 and 7, and you're going to get the 25. And then we just go right back to numerology and we type in black sun. What do you think the agriculture is growing on? The black sun. Because Earth, whether there's a black sun in the Earth or not, it's still the black sun. And the black sun is the father, which ties to Prometheus. This is why Prometheus was labeled with creating man from clay, molding men from clay. Well, what's the clay? The dirt. And then Genesis talks about the Spirit of God breathed into the nostrils of Adam, the first man, but he was formed from the dust of the ground, the agriculture of the ground. And the mirror of this, 79, that's going to be gold. All of you should know that. That's a prime number. The 23rd prime number. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. I want to fact check myself. Yeah, a 22nd prime number, excuse me. 79 is the 22nd prime number. And if I go here back to where the 58 is, this is digit number 23. This is digit number 22. Okay, for the 58. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And then we want to locate the 4 of diamonds, because that is the May 15th card when the United States Department of Agriculture got its start. Right here, it sits right here in space number 86. And look at what we have in the spirit side. We have that 7 of clubs, which sits just right here in the space number 58. So now we have these 3 cards that form this, these spaces, that form this story, part of this source code. And the 947 is a really big deal because it's the 161st prime number. Bam! How about that? This is the golden ratio now again. We go right back to mathematics and the golden ratio. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have the connecting point, the bridge. It's so magnificent. It's so beautiful. And then if we take the 86 and the 58, because these are the two markers for the spirit and the soul is spread 58, and we add them up, we get 144. 86 plus 58, 144. And 144.912 is the isotope of promethium, which will be isotope number 145. Just like that. And even the word atom equals 144 in the original Hebrew spelling. Now you know what it means. And 72 angels and demons, that gives you 144 roaming the earth, perhaps controlling mankind, which is your ego and your spirit, which is your little devil and your little spirit inside of you. Prometheus. 48 is the Jack of Hearts. The Jack of Hearts is looking for love. I mean, it could have went a million different ways, but let's finish up this presentation of Scripted Reality 18, and we're going to take a look at Abraham Lincoln, who this guy was the one responsible for creating the United States Department of Agriculture. Now, my truth is this guy was being used. He was the 16th president. 16's tied to the word hell. 16's tied to the word light into matter. 16 is tied to the 1.61. Okay, there's so many factors to look at this, but what I wanted to point out is the astrological chart for the foundation and origin of the United States Department of Agriculture. May 15th, 1862. And again, why I was showing the 16th president here. Why the 16th? Well, ladies and gentlemen, going up here to the legend, what do you see at the very bottom, squared out in red? It's Ceres, the goddess of agriculture, at what degree? 16 degrees. Right there. I got it circled right there. And I did this at 9 a.m., so the houses could change. The zodiac signs and placements of the celestials will not. And what is Ceres, the goddess of agriculture, sitting in? The house of Virgo. And what is Virgo? It's the number 6. And what is 6? It's the lover's card. It's Adam and Eve. It's tied to agriculture. The last day of creation in Judeo-Christianity, whether it was real or not, is day number 6. The masterpiece, the legacy, finalized by that story, and the God of that story was tied to Virgo, the virgin. Now Earth is virginized. Now it brings in man and woman. And Ceres sits at 16 degrees, and the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, founded the United States Department of Agriculture, and Ceres is the goddess of agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a scripted reality. Now, again, are they sitting down? Is this guy sitting down with astrology and his cabinet and all the other people and choosing these dates based on the astrological map? And then all these cards, are they playing with the cards? Are they playing with alchemy to get all these things exactly the way it is? And mathematics, are they messing around with this stuff? Do you know how busy of a role being a president is? But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. You can't miss it. And this was the biggest humdinger of them all. And I have this here because Genesis is 13. Genesis is the seed. And Ceres sitting right in that IC measurement, 16 degrees. What nakshatra? 13. And what is the nakshatra Hasta? What is it all about? It means working with the hands. Well, what would you be doing here? Working with the dirt, working with the hands, tilling the soil, growing gardens, raising livestock, agriculture, Prometheus, the underworld. That's exactly what this whole thing's talking about. And I mean, I'm not going to go, I don't even need to go into all the other moving parts, because that was the biggest takeaway, the big bomb for this was Ceres, the goddess of agriculture, sitting in the 13th nakshatra, which is tied to the word Genesis, which means the seed. And what do you plop in the ground? You plop seeds in the ground and the dirt grows. And this is where you're going to get agriculture from. Okay. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. What did you see for this scripted reality number 18? So many more layers to this, Maybe you want to take a look at the astrological map and see what you see. I mean, there's so many humdingers in this beyond what I'm showing you, but I'm just trying to keep these really straight to the point. Well, obviously a lot of moving parts, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for today. My name is Logan, Decode Your Reality. Until next time, we will see you later.